Hi guys, it's Ellie from Downtown's Lax, and today I'm going to be showing you how to take the draw. I take it for both my Spalding varsity team and my Heroes Green Club team, so I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks that I've learned over my 9 years of taking the draw and playing lacrosse. First thing I'm going to go over is hand placement while taking the draw. Okay, so you want your top hand to be as close up to your stick head as it can be and as far up on your shaft as it can be. So right where your stick and your shaft meet is where you want your top hand. And then the bottom hand, people have different preferences on it. Some people put it up here, some people put it down here. I personally like having my bottom hand as far down the stick as I can get, like right where the butt of my stick meets the tape on my stick right here. The second thing I'm going to go over is the role of each hand while taking the draw. The point of the draw is to be able to get the ball on the back of your stick and then place it on the circle where you want. There are two things you need to learn to master the draw. The first thing is to dig with your top hand, and the second thing is to push down with your bottom hand. The person who gets the ball on the back of their stick is the person who digs first, and I'll explain what digging is right now. The term digging refers to when your stick on the draw moves from this position to this position by rotating your top hand, like that. When you're digging, really focus on driving this corner of your stick underneath your opponent's stick, like this, so that the ball will get on the top of your stick. The first person to dig the ball out of their opponent's stick will win the draw. To practice digging, just take your bottom hand off your stick, and then with your top hand, just practice rotating your wrist like this. While this top hand is digging, you want your bottom hand to be pushing down. Instead of just having it straight out in front of you like this, I like to curl it and go like that. Imagine like revving a motorcycle. That's what I like to do, because it also helps with the top dig. So remember how I said you dig with your top hand? If you have your arm rounded like this and you go like that, that also helps you dig quicker. When I push, it acts like a lever, flipping my stick up like that. The first person to get their stick vertical or close to vertical will win the draw. That's because that means the person is the quickest at both digging and pushing with their bottom hand. Now I'll go over how I set up to take the draw. So the first thing that I think is really important, but I don't see a lot of people doing it, is with your top hand, the elbow of your top hand, put it inside your body like this. See how it's like in my body right here? It's not out. I see a lot of people taking the draw with their elbow out here. I like to have it inside my body. This is important because if your opponent is stronger than you and your elbow is not inside your body, they will push your stick back, and now you have lost leverage and lost power and will probably lose the draw. However, even if your opponent is stronger than you, but you have your elbow inside your body like this, if they push as hard as they can against you, they can't move your stick because your core is preventing them. So remember, bottom hand at the bottom of your stick, top hand at the very top of your stick, and the elbows inside your body. Now, the feet placement is normally a preference, but I'll show you how I do it. If I want the draw to go forward, I'm going to get in a crouching position and then put my left foot forward because it's in my right hand. And then I'm going to crouch like this. I'll show you what it looks like from the side. This is what it looks like from the side. When I'm in this position and I want to put the ball in front of me, I'm going to dig with my top hand, push with my bottom hand, place it in front of me, and then I can explode right here and grab it. If I'm trying to go to the 50, I like to have my feet at a diagonal in between the 50 and right in front of me. So like this. See how my feet aren't fully facing this way? They aren't fully facing forward, they're kind of at a diagonal. This allows me, again, to get in my crouch and go and explode right here. When I put the draw behind me, I have my feet set up two ways. The first way I set them up is identical to the way I set my feet when I'm trying to put it in front of me. Both my feet are facing forward. The same thing's gonna happen. You're gonna dig, you're gonna push down, but this time, instead of putting it forward, you're just gonna dig, push down, pop it over your shoulder, and then release. When you do it this way, you get better stability with your elbow inside of you. Remember how I talked about that earlier and how that reduces the strength of the other person and they can't use their strength against you as much. If you do the other way I'm about to show you right now, you don't get as much leverage because of the elbow. However, I like doing this better because it allows me to explode and get the ball first. The second way I like to do it is facing this way. Hand at the bottom of my stick, hand at the top of my stick, crouch down. Now my elbow can't really get in my body as well. I can try to put it like this, but it's just like awkward, like my back's rounded. So normally when you're doing this position, you won't be able to have your elbow there as stability. When you're doing this position, this allows you to get to the ball much faster because your feet are already open. So if you pop it over your shoulder, you can literally get it right here. Whereabouts, if you're straight, you do have to turn all the way around. Really just preference. If you don't need your elbow there to act as a stabilizer, I would recommend doing this way because you can get to the ball quicker. If you do because your opponent's really strong, or you just prefer your elbow like that, I would recommend going straight and then flipping it over your shoulder and grabbing it that way. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is how to learn how to self-fit and how to learn how to put it to your circle people. The difference between the two is basically just how much you ease off the power. I'm going to show you an example of self and then an example of circle, but I'm going to show you it sideways so you can see the way that my stick's going. This is an example of self draw. See how my stick is up? Again, I'm revving, I'm pushing down, my stick's up. Now I'm going to show you how to get it farther. If I want to get it farther, I'm revving, pushing down, I'm out. Or I'm pushing down, out. This will send the ball flying forwards instead of up. If you're trying to self-fit, you basically want the ball as close to you as possible, so that limits the 50-50 jump for the ball in the air. But if you're trying to get on the circle, obviously you need it to get farther out so that your player can get it. So here in this draw, you can see that my stick is straight up, meaning that this will be a self draw. And as you can see, I can go and I can grab it out of the air with one hand. Again, this is another self draw because my stick follow through is going up and not out, which allows me to run onto the ball. In this draw, I am placing the ball behind me. If you notice my leg stance, as I was saying earlier, this will help me explode and get to the ball first. I slowed this clip down because I wanted you to really pay attention to my top hand. Look how my top hand digs the ball out of her stick. In this draw, you can see my bottom hand over rotating so that I can rev it more, and that will help with the dig in my top hand. Also, if you notice my stick follow through, you'll notice that the follow through is out, not up, meaning that this ball will go farther. Okay, and then remember, practice makes perfect. To practice the draw, you can either get a friend or parent to practice with you, and you can just have their stick go against you and be a dummy. So they'll just go straight up, and you can practice your dig, you can practice your rev, all that stuff. Or you can also go against a goalpost, which I'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the draw using a goalpost. You can also use like a lamp post or any sort of like metal post that you have. I'm going to show you how to do without a ball first, and then I'll put a ball in and do a couple examples for you guys. Okay, so you're going to put the ball up against the post, and then you're going to put your stick on top of the ball. Now remember what we talked about earlier. You want to squat so that the power doesn't just come from your arms, but it also comes from your legs. You want your top hand elbow to be inside your core so that their strength doesn't overpower you and send your stick back. Now once you're set up like this, you're going to dig with your top hand, rev with your bottom hand so that your stick is now almost up and down, and then you're just gonna pop it to wherever you want it to go. I'll do one going behind me, and I'll do one going to the 50. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.